I'm not being
He's not being because
He's obsessed with this.
Me and my homeboy was talking about this last night.
See, them roller skates is coming
You
out.
want him to roller skate the entire set, or just
I
like
want
a
him
couple
to show
minutes?
the world what black folks do on these roller skates.
Right.
They never seen this before. Rap Life Review. Low, Nadeska, Ebro. We are back to review things in hip hop, in rap, and there's also a playlist called Rap Life that you can go check out and subscribe where you're watching us right now. We got things to cover like major Super Bowl 58 announcement, the Apple Music halftime show. We're gonna talk about that. Beyonce, big Houston move, big albums. Lil Tecca dominating nicely on the charts. Shout out to Lil Tecca. Doja Cat doing numbers. A new Lil Wayne project, and this week we're gonna talk about some album anniversaries. Some people ain't old enough on here to actually talk about these albums, so my old ass will be stepping in. Let's start with the Apple Music Super Bowl halftime show, Super Bowl 58. February 11th. First time Las Vegas is hosting the Super Bowl. We had a big announcement just last weekend. Yeah, just Sunday.
Yeah.
Nadeska, I had to wake Nadeska up. They made me do radio. Nadeska tried not to show to work. I was like, man, call Nadeska,
I don't know why this guy doesn't act like I'm not.
Just because you interviewed Rihanna last year don't mean you ain't got to work
Just because I was
this year.
Wait, y'all went to work?
He went to work.
Nah, but Usher will be performing. Lo, let's start with you. How do you feel about Usher on halftime?
I just found out a couple hours ago.
Okay.
It's great move. Usher has been doing that residency in Vegas already, so he's getting a lot of practicing.
Yeah, right.
And he's dropping a new album right around that time.
Yeah, I think it's like the same weekend. Right?
The same weekend, yeah. So this rollout is perfect. You can't plan a better return to music, return to the stage, and just really like just implementing your legacy of who I am and what I still can do.
I mean, Ebro pointed out that some people are probably caught off guard by Usher being the headliner. And I think that even if you are surprised, and I think most of us are not, like you're not of the culture, you don't get it, you don't know what this man is capable of.
Right.
I just don't see a way that anyone can be disappointed. Right? You know those songs. Those songs are somewhere in your mind. You've heard them before. And his level of showmanship, as you were talking about, remember we were laughing at the Black Eyed Peas at Super Bowl halftime performance, how terrible it was and how Usher was the crazy standout in like the minute and a half he was on stage.
Right.
I just don't see how he could disappoint.
Well, who's disappointed?
Well, I think there was an error in social media I was reading. People were like, oh, wow, Usher, I didn't expect that. And, really, Usher? This kind of like surprise. And I get it. He's not a part of the mainstream convo as far as a hit song right this second, or maybe his music the last few years have been slow. But like you said, the Vegas residency, he's obviously this last cultural moment.
Even his festival runs.
Yeah, his festival runs, but I don't think that's covered. I think that's us, black folks, black music, hip hop and R&B fans. I don't think that's just your regular degular.
You mean the biggest, like two of the biggest genres in
No, I know
world?
what you're saying, but once again, people don't look at R&B like that. When's the last R&B superstar?
Beyonce?
I know that's
but they
crazy,
don't even consider her an R&B superstar. She's like Beyonce.
Right.
They don't even talk about her in that context.
It's her own genre.
Right. But I mean, at the same time, like as much as R&B seeps through the, like the sand and like the, it breaks through the silence and it breaks through the noise, like you have to understand that R&B is still a huge component of language with, people.
Are you telling me or telling them?
I'm having a conversation with you.
But once again, you're speaking logically as somebody who's in music and close to the music. I'm really talking about halftime fans, Super Bowl fans.
So what did they want? Tim McGraw?
Maybe.
Which we already saw.
Taylor Swift? Maybe.
We need energy. We need movement. We need excitement.
Choreo.
We need choreo. Yeah, like that's what the Super Bowl halftime show is.
Yeah.
Michael did the halftime show. Yeah. Prince did the halftime show. Like we need that.
Well, even for that matter, when you talk about like dancing and just the whole regalia.
It's a halftime show.
Even when Coldplay did it as the headliner, they made sure to bring Bruno Mars and Beyonce to make sure that there was some.
It's like, again, Janet.
Right.
Beyonce. Bruno. That's it, right? In terms of people who perform. I mean, there's Katy Perry. People do like routines, but they're not like inherent performers.
The Weeknd was out
we're
there
talking
and he
about.
had a good
The Weeknd
stage thing.
Set, yeah,
he had a stage set, but he wasn't up there really doing choreo.
Yeah,
he went through like a mirrored
elements.
maze. It was like it
was
made
still,
for TV.
But it was still like a show.
It was a show.
Yeah, it was a performance.
Yeah.
So that's what we want to see. It's in Vegas.
It's going to be perfect. It also just makes me sad thinking that after this very important R&B moment that we're going to have at the halftime show, who else is there? We don't have anybody else. Who does he pass the torch to?
How much do you think roller skates will play?
Okay, I know you want to see roller skating.
See, he's not being funny.
I'm not being funny.
He's not being funny.
No, he's not. He's obsessed with this.
Me and my homeboy was talking about this last night.
See, them roller skates coming
Do
out.
you want him to roller skate the entire set, or just
I
like
want
a
him
couple
to show
minutes?
the world what black folks do on these roller skates.
Right.
They never seen this before.
There's a lot of tunes that he has that can be implemented to a roller skating
Talk to him.
portion of the show.
Yeah.
So we were trying to put together a set list, and every song we played,
Roller skates.
He's gonna do the roller skates. He can do roller skates with this. He can do roller skates with that. 90% of the songs were roller skates.
You see?
He's definitely gonna hit a split on the
we're on
roller
the same
skates.
wavelength.
Yeah, no one's gonna be disappointed. I
Well,
just wanna see
and that's
how.
something that nobody could top. There's not a performer anywhere in any genre that can sing, has hit songs, will be invited to the Super Bowl and could do the whole show on roller skates. That can't be done.
You think he'll get invited back? Wouldn't that be crazy if it was so good they invited him back?
Absolutely. Why not?
Back to back?
I don't know about back to back. A
spinning the
couple years
block?
in between, but
Couple years.
I've never seen anybody spin the block on the Super Bowl.
No,
I mean
Beyonce,
Beyonce, but Usher
once
could
again,
be. I'm
different combo.
saying this is going to be probably one of the
Bruno
best
been out
ever.
a couple of times too.
He has. You're right.
Yeah, he came. Remember the one year he opened up, he was playing the drums first. Then he stepped out from behind the drums.
He's so nice. It's
okay,
crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's crazy.
Yeah.
He gotta spin. He
can spin the block. So that way,
Beyonce,
third time?
I think Beyonce is gonna make a third time around too.
Beyonce, I know Beyonce is just tired of
Performing,
Yeah, just
period.
like, bro, I'm done.
Nah, she's probably gonna hit something in the Sphere or something. I'm expecting
The
to see a
Sphere
bit.
in Vegas.
Yeah,
right?
I'm sure she's gonna end up doing
okay.
something there.
Zayn actually caught up with Usher in Paris for the announcement.
I'm very, very happy, man. I think one of the big questions that everybody would want me to ask is, what's it like getting that call from Jay-Z?
Oh man, I didn't. Well, I mean, you know, me and the big homie, we talk often, but when I got this call,
Yeah.
and he said it's time, it's magic time. You know, it's time for you to have that moment. I'm like, what you talking about? He's like, the Super Bowl. I'm like, oh man, you ready? Absolutely, but no question.
Yeah.
And it was like, this was destined to happen. I think that everything that led up to that moment, going to Las Vegas for my Vegas residency for the last 2 years, the legacy, obviously, that is the music, the celebration of entertainment in that place. It's a city of lights. You know, it's always been a place where you know, entertainers go and find love and passion, to connection to their fans. So for the Super Bowl to have made its way to Las Vegas while we were in Vegas, having such an amazing 2 years.
Now, speaking of Beyonce, Houston went down. It's crazy. Before we sat down, you were watching the clips of her and Megan Thee Stallion in Houston. How was that performance and show and moment?
I couldn't find a non-blurry clip, but I was happy to see it. I mean, to my knowledge, Beyonce hasn't brought out any guests
Diana
on this
Ross
show.
just sang her happy birthday.
Okay, that doesn't count. That doesn't count. That really doesn't count. So, I mean, I love this record. I love these two. Obviously, that's her hometown.
Right.
I think this was like a perfect way to cap it off. And a nice moment for Meg, man. She's been through so much in the past couple of years. Love seeing her on this new Cardi record. Love seeing her pop up at a Beyonce concert. What a way to like be back outside. So just a cool moment. I love it.
One is big for the city of Houston, right? Hometown heroes. I think those, you know, maybe who don't know that Beyonce is Houston. Like that's her base. That's
How do
her
you don't
hometown.
know?
Yeah,
How do you not know?
I think people.
I don't know,
I
man.
think,
I be
nah,
feeling
I
like
think
we
everybody.
know things and pay attention to things that
What do you think? Where would you think she's from?
I don't know what people think, but I just wanted to make sure Houston got their props, man. Lil Wayne dropping a new project. It's called The Fix Before the Six. Carter 6 on the way. So there's a mixtape project.
Okay.
How do we feel about this? Let's start with you over there, Lo.
I don't see no problem with it. Man,
Excited?
yeah, I mean, he's just
Of course,
putting
you
up.
know, it's Lil Wayne. Of course, there's no problem.
Yeah, he's putting up shots.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's in the gym. And like a person that has put out so much music, you know, just solo wise and group wise, the fact that you feel like I still gotta prove, I still gotta show, I still gotta display who I am as one of the best lyricists again and again and again. It just shows to me that how much he cares about the craft just as a whole. Right? He could just fade into the water and just be like, oh,
Doesn't want to. I rap.
I rap, but like I rap.
Shoot.
Right. I've done the features. I've done the tour. I'm popping out on everybody's song.
Embrace the young generation.
I'm embracing the young generation, and now I'm about to give you a two-piece. On the heels of my little Drake.
Oh, right.
I was like, wait, who?
Yeah.
I was like, wait, what?
No, yeah, because like
We still call him
Well,
that?
and
That's
Nicki,
his- I mean, that's
Nicki
his-
album this year,
Yeah.
Wayne Project this
Yeah.
year, and Drake this year.
so
Young
if
Money
you look at Young
scorching.
Money is very, very competitive. So yeah, I love this. I feel like they're gonna be competing with themselves.
So yeah, the Fix Before the Six. Other projects, shout out to Lil Tecca, top 5 right now on Apple Music. That's doing very well. And also Doja Cat, number 6 on Apple Music with Scarlet. I listen to Lil Tecca, great album. I wouldn't say I'm a Lil Tecca fan, but I feel
I
like...
would love to hear that you're a Lil Tecca fan. That would be the most shocking thing of the year for me.
Yeah, I think there's an age differential is tough. You know what I'm saying? For me to relate to what he going through right now. I remember those
What's he
days.
going
Yeah,
through
what is he
right
going
now?
through? What's he
He's going through a lot, man. Lil Tecca going through a lot.
All right,
You know what I'm
bro.
saying? He making money now. Girls like
You're
him that
making
didn't used to
money?
like him. You know what I'm saying? That's tough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's
we
tough.
don't take nothing serious on this show.
What? Nah, man.
don't
These
take
people out
nothing
here
serious.
It's tough times. When you getting money and you used to not have money, it's tough. When girls like you and they ain't used to like you, it's tough.
Yo, shout out to Lil Tecca.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I
My
get
man is doing his numbers. Friends that used to be your friends, now they acting funny.
Right. I ain't
You know
never
what I'm
heard that
saying?
story before.
Never. But
Crazy.
for Lil Tecca, he's doing his numbers. Don't
Gotcha.
hate. Shout out to Lil
Shout
Tecca
out to
fans
Tecca,
out
that's
here.
dope.
And the music is good. I think the other piece of it too, when I listen to it, melodically, musically, he's trying to do things that aren't just like throwaways.
Right.
And I think that's when I can't necessarily relate to where you're at and what you're writing about. I'm listening to that. Are you taking this serious? Are you actually song structure?
Right.
You know, trying things.
Well, he's young.
Yeah.
Clearly he's young, so he's gonna learn the process of actually being a good songwriter and making good songs, and has to go through these chunks of like unfamiliar with how to do it. But if he sticks at it, we'll see him grow.
Yeah. And then Doja Cat tapping in on the Scarlet album. Big fan. I can actually, she's doing things. I was shocked. I didn't expect her to do. I knew she was putting out a rap album, and I had heard
You had
about
told
8
us about
songs,
this,
and I
yeah.
told y'all she was rapping. But then there's a part of the album, like track 10 through 17, where she goes into like underground beat selections.
It's like 90s neo soul
Yeah.
kind of vibes. some
Were the
boom
records
bap.
that you heard prior to, or the records that you heard on here, are like the same records?
Some of them, yeah. Some
Because
have
you
been
told us you
changed,
heard
yeah.
like 8.
Yeah, it was like 8. So I had heard Paint the Town Red, Attention.
Okay.
Fuck the Girls, I think I heard. Agora Hills.
Yeah.
I had heard.
That's dope one too. So you heard a couple
yeah,
of 10 to 17, maybe 2 of them.
Yeah,
got a
maybe a couple
sprinkling
of
of
them.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I was shocked how the whole project came together. Nadeska, did you get a chance to listen?
Yeah, I mean, I actually really enjoyed it. Like you said, the second half of the album is by far my favorite. And I hate, not that I'm comparing her to somebody, but I think I mentioned this before. I feel like Tyler is the only artist I could kind of put her in the same lane with. In terms of like, I don't feel like there's any pressure to define who they are as artists, because I realize she's going to change so much in the next few years and she's enjoying it. And also listening to the album, I think it's funny hearing her rap about how God doesn't play with hate and stuff like that while people are mad at her for all the demonic shit. Doja Cat knows exactly what she's doing and it's amazing. So you see these like glimpses of the sort of creative genius back there and her telling you like, I learned to superstar from a textbook. She's a very out of the box artist and I love it. She can really bar it up. You hear it on this album. The beats she picked are amazing. It's like some alternative, like vibey R&B rap, which I think is actually really
Was
fire.
it disappointing that it was just her and like no features? Because there's a lot of those songs where a lot of people could fit. Do you believe that that was a good decision for her? I'm asking both.
I
of you.
didn't miss
don't know.
any features necessarily.
I honestly don't even know how to answer that. I didn't have any expectation.
Okay.
And I think that goes to what you were just pointing out about kind of like how creatively she doesn't really,
Because she could do it all.
well, not only that, but she doesn't
She doesn't rely on.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's part of what people have a problem with. They don't know what to expect from her,
Gotcha.
right? So some people just came for the pop music that she recently just got bags, hustling and running up the charts.
Yeah.
Then she turns and puts out a rap album and people are like,
What the fuck?
I don't even want this. And she's like, well, don't come here. You ain't even my fans. Fuck
Right.
off.
Right.
And we watch her do that and we crack jokes about her purging her whole social media and not giving a fuck. And I think she, matter of fact, I know she likes whatever that is, whatever the trolling is, whatever the social experiment is.
Yeah.
And I think the reason I like it so much is because it doesn't sound like anyone else that's putting out mainstream music right now.
Exactly.
Which is why she compared her to Tyler.
That's the only reference point I have. And you were mentioning some artists that she loves, like JID and Smino.
Well, so when I interviewed her last,
to me.
right, when I interviewed her last for the Woman album, Smino and JID were on that album. So I'm asking her, because I'm looking at this girl as a pop artist, shocked that she would have JID and Smino on the album. And that's where I learned that that's what she's a fan of.
Right.
Fast forward, she decides to do a full rap album, and it kind of all makes sense that she's a fan of that kind of very musical, almost jazz influenced side of hip-hop.
Lyrical.
Yeah.
And
lyric heavy.
Yeah, I know people didn't expect it, but I love it, and I hope that other full-time female rappers, if you want to call them that, because Doja Cat's a little bit of everything, feel a little bit more empowered to do that. Like, I feel like it's really limited, the scope that we have. So Tierra Whack is one that comes to mind. That kind of out of the box alternative. We don't have enough of that.
No Name. Also, No Name's another one that, you know, No Name's almost the opposite of Doja Cat. Doja Cat will play with y'all. No Name ain't playing with y'all. She don't even like y'all. Like,
oh yeah, she's intimidating as fuck.
yeah, she don't even like y'all, but she's fire and musically fire.
Yeah.
But she's not playing your little silly mainstream games.
Right.
It's all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But if you're looking for a different sound, she got it, and she's saying something, and she could bar it up.
I want someone who's gonna play the mainstream game too. We need No Name, but we need that. Like growing up on someone like Missy and that kind of music,
And
I feel like
Lauryn Hill.
to me that kind of vibe is missing. And again, I'm not saying those artists are not out there. Maybe we haven't seen them yet.
I think
But I look
Doshi will
forward
bring
to
us some of
that.
that too.
Doshi's
Gonna bring us some. Doshi could bar it up.
And she has
The
more music
music's
coming this
different.
year.
Right.
She's got the alternative sound. She'll make house records. She'll make R&B records. She'll make pop records.
Right.
She'll make all of it.
Right.
Like Doshi's gonna be here for a while too. What do you guys want to do? Turning 20 or turning 25?
Well, you told us we weren't old enough to discuss this.
What do you?
shit,
Oh, so you want to do turning 10 then?
Man, in this game, you're never
Yeah,
old
like,
enough
yeah,
or you're
that's
never
so,
young
yeah,
enough.
fuck it, like,
You
wherever
can't
we
All
wait.
right,
got
so
Just
we'll
live your
start with
life.
the 000. We'll go 25 years ago. Aquemini,
Right. I'm 17.
17.
10, I don't know.
You were like 10 years old.
A kid, yeah.
Yeah, I was outside. Aquemini was ringing.
You
off
were
out here.
roller skating to this?
I was roller skating. Well, I was doing everything you could do.
Hey.
Riding dirty, roller skating, you know what I mean? All of it. What year was this? 1998? I was already programming radio stations.
I'm a junior.
word.
I'm a junior in high school.
I had dropped out of college already, out of high school, making money.
Running wild.
What? 98?
Yo, this look in your eyes, you're definitely a wild
He's
boy.
got, he just saw his life flash before his eyes.
Yo, 98?
As soon as I said 98,
Oh, man, listen,
his
bro.
eyes went, yeah.
98 was different.
Where was you
God
at?
there was no
where, all right, so
social
where was you
media.
at when this album dropped?
I don't see, that's what the 90s will do to you. I have no idea. I just know I was there.
What state were you in?
Oh, I was in California.
You was in
I was
California.
still in
And
California.
you was programming radio station?
Yeah, I was programming radio.
So when you get this record, what is it like?
Oh man, well, Skewed on the Barbie, I believe, was the first single with Raekwon.
That was with Raekwon,
So
yeah.
the fact that we got OutKast and Raekwon together on one of the first singles, that was huge.
And Wu-Tang was at their
98 Wu-Tang?
Right, yeah.
That's Triumph.
Yeah,
That's,
yep.
you know, all of that.
Yeah, yeah.
So the fact that OutKast and Wu-Tang together, that was sending everybody,
through
oh
the
my
moon.
God.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh
yeah,
man.
yeah.
And then, obviously they had big hits with Rosa Parks.
Right.
And then the album came out, and that's with the, you know, the Spodioti Dopalicious song with the with the horns and all that shit on there. The art of storytelling is on there. I mean, it's a phenomenal album. I would say 9 of the 16 songs I still listen to today. 25 years ago, Jay-Z also dropped Hard Knock Life,
Yeah.
Volume 2. Jay-Z, Volume 2.
That was the arrival commercially for him. You know, the Hard Knock Life. I mean, and there were singles on there.
These like Money Cash Hoes
It
and
was-
all those songs,
it
right?
was
So now remember,
It was Money Cash Hoes. It was What Who.
This
Can
like,
I Get Us on
Can
this
I
album?
Get It?
yeah.
And that was on the Rush Hour soundtrack.
And now remember, that popped off the Rush Hour soundtrack
before it got to,
this.
yes.
Now, crazy story.
Uh-huh.
At the time, Jay, Dame, I think Biggs, I forget whoever, they was doing like radio media runs. Like
Right.
they was going to every radio
But
station.
that was a thing back then.
it makes
Yeah.
sense because every song from this album I feel like was on the radio every
There was like
hour,
there was-
every day.
there's-
but there was
I
a
think like
point.
5
So
or
can
6
I get
songs.
Can I Get a pops off
Before the album dropped.
before the album drops? They're headed out on the radio run. Can I Get a pops off? and they're like, yeah, nah, we ain't doing these radio interviews no more.
Because the song blew up
shit
too
is,
fast?
Shit
I
is
love
out of
it.
here. We don't need
That's
to
so
come talk to y'all no more.
disrespectful. I love
Because
it.
remember, for Hov and them going to talk to people, he was already having money. He was a street dude. Like,
Yeah.
doing this whole media.
Talking to is like,
What are we doing?
Yeah. Then the Hard Knock Life tour comes,
Right.
right? After selling what they did, what, 5 mil?
Like
4 or 5
Yep,
mil?
5 times platinum.
5 mil, won a Grammy.
Won a Grammy, 41st Annual Grammy Awards. Won a Grammy for Best Rap Album.
Then they do a 53-city tour,
Mm-hmm.
introducing Ja Rule and them, introducing Eve, you know, I think the Locks were on that tour, Red and Meth.
You went to this?
No, I just watched backstage like it's like
That
my
was when
Bible.
Backstage
Wow.
was shot.
Yeah, that's backstage is the Hard Knock Life tour.
Yeah.
Right.
So like they introducing Beanie, you know, Bleak is on the tour, Red and Meth, Ja, Irv, like the whole Def Jam conglomerate is on that tour. Kevin Lyles, Mike Kaiser, like that whole team. So it's just like if you really want to know what Def Jam and Rockefeller and Murder Inc. and Rough Riders was like back then, you watch Backstage and you see everybody at a young point in their life. And even Jay told that story on the show, on The Shop with LeBron James, about how X was such a prolific competitor and performer.
Yeah, man.
And he's like, yo, X is out there running around with his shirt off, drinking
Jay
Alizé and
step his game
Hennessy,
up.
this, that, and the third. And now like Jay's looking like, what the fuck? Like Jay's the headliner. So X is just like cleaning this up for 53 cities. And he was like, X made me get my performance game up.
Wow.
I couldn't just sit there and rap and rap and rap and rap. And he was like, yo, after that, I just did acapellas all night. Because that was his only way to captivate the show. Because this is out there saying prayers, making cry, shirts off, dogs running around. And Jay's like, what the fuck am I doing with this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's, if you really want to know the history about that early Def Jam day, watch Backstage.
20 years ago, you get the double album. Once again, OutKast.
Mm-hmm.
20 years ago, September 23rd, 2003, Speakerboxxx Love Below, where we basically, Andre 3000 says, I'm tired of rapping, and I'm going to make some songs, some amazing songs.
Amazing.
That Love Below,
Yep.
Prototype,
what?
Roses.
Man, Happy Valentine's Day.
What?
Was that Hey Ya?
Oh.
This is a crazy album.
Then I like the way you move is on the other side with
Yep.
Big Boy.
Yep.
Yeah, that
He
was
had Nora Jones on here. I forgot about that. Yeah, there's a lot on
Sleepy Brown.
here. Yeah.
That was a
She Lives in My Lap.
Yeah,
That was
oof.
an amazing record. It's interesting when you look back at it. It was certified diamond December 2004. So a little bit over a year later, it went diamond, this album.
a year later.
A year later.
It's crazy.
Both sides are titled Disc 1. It's completely different albums. Like there's
Which is
no
why, yeah.
synergy between the albums at
Which
all.
is why, yeah, both of them can be called this one.
Well, no, I get that, but it's clearly like, are y'all OutKast or are y'all doing solo project?
Well, that's why
That's
they call themselves
basically- yeah.
OutKast. Like, that's pretty much the definition of being an outcast. Like, I'm doing this and you're doing that. And,
Is it?
And we're not doing anything the same that anyone else is doing.
Or that each other is doing? Because remember, just before that, we had 4 consecutive albums of them in sync. So I remember at this time, everyone being like, yo, what's happening with OutKast? And from this point moving forward, from the Love Below Speakerboxxx moving forward, have we seen OutKast?
So I guess you
I
guys
know they
what's
did. There
up.
were some shows that happened after this.
So we just got to be grateful then.
Right,
Otherwise,
like
we may
that-
not have gotten an album, period. So if they wanted to just give us 2 really dope
Yeah,
albums
like-
instead.
No, yeah, I think
Yeah,
I think when we
that
look
was the
back
beginning of-
20 years ago.
But they've given us so much content and so much product that we can go back and listen to them as a duo cohesively.
Yep.
And then we got that.
Yep.
So it's like, yeah.
And you still get big boy projects now.
Right.
And we just got a Andre 3000 verse on the Killer Mike album.
Right. So we still have, inklings of them, but there's enough.
1,000%.
There's enough right there to let me know who OutKast was and still is.
Turning 10 years, dropped September 24th, 2013.
This is before Lil was jaded, when he still loved Drake, when you were
no,
excited for
Drake,
albums.
nothing
When that
was
Tusk
the
and
same.
Leather hit.
The seminal, pinnacle, hip-hop Drake album, yes or no, Low?
No,
It's not the one.
no.
Nadeska.
Bro, it's this and Take Care. Stop trying to make me like pick things all the time. It's these two. These are the ones.
I went back through them this weekend because we were talking about them. Getting ready
Yeah,
for
you
this
were a little
conversation.
bit gassed. What were you saying? Like this one washed, Take Care,
Yeah,
body.
like-
And then he's like,
Well, no,
"Why
I was like,
Anyway,
yo,
back
Take
and
Care,
forth.
body, nothing was. Then I went and I listened. I was like, nah, I'm
Nah.
wrong.
Like, what are you
I'm
talking
wrong.
about?
Nothing was the same. It's crazy.
Talking about?
Nothing was the same. It's crazy. I was wrong. But I will say, listening back to both of them, Nothing Was the Same definitely presents itself as more of a hip hop album
100%.
because of the way it starts, specifically with Tuscan Leather and the way
Right,
that
right,
whole thing.
right.
It presents itself. And so I think if we look back at it, if we let's say we never get a total hip hop album.
Well,
from Drake
we are.
or-
We already discussed that.
Oh, we are not.
No, we're not.
And nor does he have to. He's not obligated to
Yeah,
do
no.
what you want. But
You're saying this is the more rap album of the two
I think,
albums.
yeah. Look, if the Scorpio album side A, like it wouldn't have had two sides.
If you leave that, that's
the hip hop. That's the album.
Yeah.
But it's just not what it
Yeah,
was.
yeah,
It did two
of course.
sides. Nothing Was the Same would probably be the rap album for me.
I think for me, if you're reading this, it's too late. Is the rap album for me
Okay.
because it starts off like it presents itself like you just said.
Yeah.
Like those first 6,
Yeah, it's crazy.
fucking ridiculous.
Even
Then
though
it-
it's not technically an album, although
Yeah,
it is.
I mean, body of work, yeah. That's how I look at it. But like, I guess if we're looking at album,
What a dope
technically,
project.
yeah.
Yeah,
That
you're
same
right.
asterisk, I'm the same with that, where it's kind of like, was it an
Like,
album?
Like he didn't want it to be
Was
an
a
album, which was the
mixtape?
problem, and then there's all this drama, but it was
know.
cool.
But yeah, if we're
This is where
talking,
he bodied Tyga on that.
6 p.m. in New York.
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
great-
tore him up.
this great project.
Tore him up.
Phenomenal.
He said extra.
10 years ago, Nothing Was the Same. If you haven't listened to these projects in a while or at all, go check them out. And that's the Rap Life Review.
Hold on, I want to clear something up real quick.
Yes.
Last week, we were talking about Nas's Magic 3.
Okay.
And remember, I reminded you, like, hey, we ain't talking about this yet.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that really were trying to throw dirt on your name.
About what?
Saying that you purposely left Nas out the conversation, or you purposely were saying, like, oh, we forgot and
Well,
we didn't
people
give
are
a fuck.
bored, huh?
I just want y'all to know, like, did not forget. We
This
talk
guy.
about
Oh,
a lot
my
of stuff.
God.
We talk about.
I've been supporting Nas before you.
right.
born.
We talk about Nas every.
Yeah,
like,
Like
Yo,
what?
yo.
so I know, because I saw a lot of it hitting my timeline when I posted the video.
Now, here's one thing you got to know, though.
So I just want to
Here's
make
one,
sure
and I
that's-
like it. I'm into it. Nas fans do not play with Nas fans. And like Nas fans really don't be playing with nobody. Like they don't really, you don't see them, you
Yeah.
know, they don't be tripping because it's Nas. Like they ain't got to prove nothing to nobody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But if you play with Nas, mad people come out the woodworks and you're like,
No,
yo, Nas
because they-
got a hive out here,
No,
bro.
because I was serious. I was like,
Oh,
oh, like
nah, Nas got a
I'm like,
high,
yo, bro,
bro.
like this is how we talk to each other. So I just want y'all to realize
Nah,
he
bruh.
don't play with Nas.
Let me tell you what I'm not worried about. That.
Yeah.
It's the Rap Life Review.
What's up? Nadeska here, and if you enjoyed this episode of the Rap Life Review, you can catch me here every week with Lowkey and Ebro. Subscribe, hit the like button, make sure you never miss an episode, and of course, drop us a comment below, and we'll see you next time on the Rap Life Review.